Okay, so we are back live. Let me invite my guests here. All right. Just sent that invite out. Welcome everybody back.
There we go.
All right. Can you see me?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, cool, cool.
Here you go. Come on.
Oh man. Well, yeah, good man. Good to finally have you on here.
I'm
You know. Um, Let me ask you, what's the most positive thing you've been able to take, from the world since the pandemic started?
being forced to be more social online.
Okay. Okay.
I'm not social in real life, so definitely not online. But this world of the internet, I didn't know it was this many like different type of people. I was ignorant in my scope of human beings. I didn't know that you had so many creative people, so many funny people. I didn't know any of this stuff until I got on Instagram. So yeah, I was definitely in my boredom forced to tap in online and see that okay, there's some pretty cool shit online.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. What area are you from?
I'm from Compton, Watts, Linwood, LA, but I'm in Chicago now. So
Hmm.
you hear the twang and the accent turn up as we talk about these sneakers. Trust me.
Compton. Woo!
Fact. My man Brady is here. Facts.
All right. So, all right. With you saying that, I've got so many questions, but I
let's get
believe those
let's get
for
to it.
and Chicago because I've spent some time in Chicago, but I have some questions for both of those areas. But we'll leave that for the end. Okay. Now I haven't really been online much today. What did you break out today? Or did you break out any kicks
I
today?
put a picture up. I was at work. I put a picture up of something I had. I had on what y'all call them, like the single day Jordan 13s.
Oh, the like the red and black.
Red with the black bottom. Oh,
Okay.
this disclaimer too. I don't know names of sneakers. I only know what comes out because of UNV. So the conversations, I'm like, I'm the first probably guest that you have in between the hood sneaker dude and the sneaker head. I'm in that weird space in between.
Hey, one thing I'll be wanting to say, and I'm gonna just say this for everybody who's watching. I don't expect for people to have shit pinpointed the way I do. I'm weird.
Yeah, you go to the level. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I know that that's not normal. So I would expect, like, if I ask you to be on there, people are like, oh, I don't really know about shoes or I ain't got the shoes. I don't care. I just want to talk about sneakers.
Sneakers,
You know,
facts.
format, but I don't have to do that. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So that's for anybody who could be a guest in the future. You don't have to know where Michael Jordan was when he was wearing this shoe. Okay? So,
When I sent you the message about those, I think there was the Morris Stoudemire, the Air Force One.
mm-hmm.
I'm like, man, I'm not about to bug this man. I sent it, man. You get so much information. I'm like, damn, he knows everything about guys.
Yeah.
A lot of information. And when you said it, it dawned on me. I remember the advertisement with Kobe, Steve Nash, and all them. I said, okay. It
Yeah,
dawned. It
Santana,
went
right?
right back to me. Yep.
Yeah,
It went
yeah.
right back.
Because I used to have the poster because I was working for Foot Locker at the time
Okay.
that they did it. So that old Air Force One poster. What's the old Air Force One poster? It's got Moses Malone and Michael Cooper, and they're like on an airstrip. So
Mm-hmm.
the new poster was supposed to be like the old poster, like that, but it had Kobe and LeBron and Melo and Wade since they were Nike affiliates, but not
Mm-hmm.
regular Nike. So
I got a original advertisement from like I got this book where I keep like old Source magazine pictures, old Double XL magazine. I got the shit right there. But when you said, I'm like, oh, I got the original advertisement in my book right now. I got the picture in there. So,
nice.
you know,
Okay. Well, I didn't get to send you the thing of how the show breaks down,
man,
but
I
I mean,
watched the episode. Let's get to it. I watched the episodes. Let's get to
all
it.
right. So quarter one is first sneaker origins. So what is your first or earliest sneaker memory?
Two of them. So the first one, I tried to look the name up for this. I can't find it, but I found a Hibbett Sports commercial for this. I call it a Drew Bledsoe,
Okay.
but I don't know if it's a Drew Bledsoe or not. 95, 96, it had a strap. I think Barry Sanders might have wore this shit before that though. I can't really pinpoint. I'll see you the advertisement after we get off. But the reason that's significant is because I got it on a Wednesday night. I didn't wear it to school Thursday. But in our era, what they do now, when you go to the park to play ball, guys will come up with a sneaker that they're wearing to the park and then take that off and put a basketball shoe on. So basically a show-off shoe. That was my shoe the next day. I'm playing with my man and I wore the strap unstrapped. I fell, stepped on the strap, and the strap came off. And that was the point I knew I loved sneakers because that was my first heartbreak. I was so devastated. Like, before that, I was beating shoes up. Like, I didn't care about that shit. But that particular sneaker was the first time I felt physical pain, like, besides my mom's kicking my ass. But I really liked that shoe. Like, I felt crazy. Like, I got one strap off and one on. So that was the earliest memory, maybe 10, 11 years old or something like that. After that, I got to go with the Penny 2. That was the first all-white shoe my mom let me get. That was the first shoe I got to pick on my own. That shoe right there, man, that all-white with that's World Foot Locker. Like, that was just a whole different type of thing where that was crazy for me. That Penny, damn near going to sleep in that shoe. That's one of those type of shoes for me. I said, I got the 09 in here right now. That's a crate. No matter where I'm at, I'll let a Travis burn up. I'm grabbing that Penny. I'm grabbing that.
All right. Now, this was one of the questions. I have to ask you this. With you being a Los Angeles native, right?
Come on.
You know what I'm going to ask you.
Laker everything.
Okay.
We're not even going to play games. Like, it's Lakers to the death. Like, we're not going to play. We're not going to play games.
Oh, okay.
It's Lakers. Listen, when we had Tony Smith, Sedale Street, the Dookie Lakers.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Anthony Pillar. Come on, man. Benoit Benjamin, like that era, it's Lakers to the death, regardless.
Yeah, I mean, that's all the way up through Sean Brooks and right back and Kobe came with Magic came
Easy
back.
Eldon Campbell. Come on, man. Like, we're not gonna play with the Lakers. I don't even know. We're not gonna play with that.
Shit, I remember Doug Christie used to play for the Lakers. I hated him.
They only know Doug Christie from Sacramento. They don't know Lakers Doug.
Vlade too. Vlade too.
Shout out to Vlade.
Oh, man. Whew. Well, I'm gonna put that on the side, you know what I mean? Because, you know, we can talk about the obscure 90s Lakers teams, motherfuckers like Derek Strong and people like that. Oh, man. You went back to Tony Smith. Before Shaq played for the Lakers, I always said if I got to play for the Lakers, I would be number 34. And he was number 34. And I'm like, man, this dude don't even start.
They don't know about those Laker teams. They don't know about those Laker teams.
Nah. How about the Mavs? All right. Oh, man. Yeah, well, I'm happy so I can't show it, but I got a Laker right here.
Oh, come on, man. Listen, Kobe to the death. That's the real Black Jesus. Everybody listening. I don't know about no Clippers. I don't know what that is. We don't acknowledge none of that.
It's young dudes I talk basketball with. They be shocked. I'm like, man, the Clippers didn't move to LA until 84, 85.
They don't know.
I'm like, yeah, but they were the San Diego Clippers.
The Clippers were so trash in the 90s. Lloyd, Gary Grant, they were so trash. Giving away tickets, like super trash.
Hey, now before we go with the sneaker questions, I do have to ask, how close is the LA Sports Arena to the Forum? Is it like far away or is it close?
It's LA close.
So that's like, was LA close? Like an hour, 30 minutes away?
No. You can catch buses there. It ain't far at all.
Oh, okay.
Forum is Inglewood, Coliseum is in Greater LA. It ain't far at all. Not far at all.
Okay.
Not far at all.
All right. Well, let me get back on task. You know what I mean?
We can do this shit all night. I promise you.
All right. Oh, man. Well, you told me that the Penny 2 was kind of like that second shoe. Now, what was the shoe after that you was like, all right, I'm in this? I'm in
Air Force One. Everything.
Air Force One. Okay.
Come on, man. everything Air One. I think I had the last live with you and V, and I was talking about I'm looking for the Tuskegee mid. I'm not playing like right now. I'm looking at the Savage Beast low top like
Oh
Air
man.
One. Yeah, I was the dude that would. I'm the weird kid that, like I said, I'm in that hood sneaker, but I'm in that middle. Like I'm throwing my boxes away. I'm lining up all my Air Force Ones by my bed so I can wake up every morning. That's the first thing I see is my sneakers. I was that kid. Like I wasn't playing like with shoes. Air Force One, everything. That was it. I've had more Air Ones than I've had, and I probably would ever have Jordans. I was the Penny, Barkley, Griffey, Bo Jackson, Air One dude. I was that guy.
Okay. Okay. Now, since the Air Force One is that next year that really just was like, all right, I'm in this. Like I'll just say, like, you know, we're from Cleveland, Ohio. We live in North Carolina now, but I didn't really start seeing niggas wear Air Force Ones in Cleveland like prevalent probably to like 97, 98. Other than actual sneakerheads, you know. It was just Jewel Air Force Ones. It was just mids and lows. There wasn't no highs yet that they had brought back. If it wasn't just black and white, that's the only high you could get.
Mm-hmm.
When did they kick off? You know, out there, I'm pretty sure it was sooner since it was LA.
I'm gonna be honest. So, and my man Birdie could contest to this. Dudes were not wearing Air Force Ones until like Puff Daddy, Mace, 96, 97.
Okay.
But because we're from LA, it's like a person that works at like a restaurant and you like, I know you eat this all the time. They're like, no, I don't eat this shit at all. I work here every day. We were East Coast influenced. So we're in LA, but we wearing Helly Hansen windbreakers and Eastlands and Timberlands with shorts. So we were looking at Nas is my fashion. That's my number one fashion inspiration. Escobar. I would see Nas in ones. I'm like, damn, he got the where did he get an orange check? That's crazy? Where they from? I need Air Ones. You know, so this, you know, we can get into the custom. We could talk about that once we got into the putting Dior before they was putting them on Jordan Ones on our Air Force Ones, 2000, 2001. We can get into all that. But Air Force One for sure. Nas was the first person that I saw that I really was like, okay, he's putting some crazy joints together. This is crazy.
Okay. Now, with you being an Air Force One historian, I mean, you've name dropped.
Nah, don't put that pressure on me, Shorty. I'm not.
I got that on me. You looking for two Air Force Ones I've never owned. I've always wanted the Savage Beast. I know people with it, but I never got to touch it. That Tuskegee Air Force One. I've given up on it. I've even found, you know, because they came out with the Air Raid and the Vince Carter together. I find the Vince Carter from time to time. It's just way too expensive. I find the Air Raid every now and then, but I can never find that Air Force One in good condition. It's always fucked up.
You talking about the Tuskegee or the Savage?
The Tuskegee. I can find the Savage. I just don't want to pay for it.
I'm going to tell you something about that Tuskegee, and I learned a lesson about finances, about being broke. See, I've always found the shit that I've always looked for low when I was the most broke. I saw Tuskegee like 3 years ago for like 170, like 8.5 out of 10 condition. I'm like, I could see the bees on the bottom. I'm like, damn. I don't got it 200 for it right now though. So that these are the little immature things that help me try to save money. I like sneakers. I want to be able to cop shit at all times. So these little lessons taught me like, bro, you're never. And now they won't. I think the cheapest one I saw, $3.99 or some stupid. I'm not paying that. That's never gonna happen. So
I found a fucked up pair about 2 months ago, but they were still like $200 in the fucking.
See what I'm saying? That's crazy. I'm gonna have to pay to get it restored. Like, come on, like I'm not.
Yeah. Nah,
I can't do that. But that's one that to the casket. I'm looking for that. I need that.
But
I need that.
You're an Air Force One historian.
So don't put that pressure on me, Shorty. Come on, man.
What's your preferred height?
Okay, so it got to right now is lows, and I might not own a pair of Air Force Ones right now. That's crazy. Lows are my favorite. Growing up, mids were my favorite.
Okay.
It was a specific. We would name shoes different. So like, you call it the Jewel is one with the plastic bubble, like the heart. They had a mid top Jewel, but it was almost like what do y'all call that material? Like what's on the Jordan 1? Like What do y'all call it?
Tumble leather or
Tumble.
yeah.
The whole Air One was tumble. I
Mm-hmm.
can't find that. I'm looking for that one.
Hmm.
You know, so all the ones I see with the jewel, they're the smooth leather, but I can't find that cracked tumble. We call it the wrinkle mid. That's what we would call it. But
Yeah. I want to
this
say
is like 98. This is like my 8th grade year. So this is like 97, 98 I'm talking about.
okay. Okay. I'm gonna tell you an Air Force One that I've always wanted, and it's not as popular. Well, it's two. I mean, anybody who's in the Air Force Ones should want to own a pair of linen Air Force Ones.
See,
You know, I know you probably got them there. The Union, or because I think Union redid them. I think,
they did.
Okay,
They
it was
did.
Union. Okay, I know it was either them or Kids.
The last Air One that I've saw that I really wanted, I still didn't buy it was It's nothing special. It's the Stussy, the low top. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that Stussy was pretty fly. I like that a lot.
You didn't grab the cool gray mid with the NYC on it? Yeah.
Listen. When it comes to sneakers, you're gonna find out through this conversation. The things that people like naturally, I don't like. Like if I told you to shoe, we're gonna get to my biggest shoe regret for the year. We're gonna talk about all that. You'll see, like, oh, this dude borderline crazy. Okay, so yeah, a lot of stuff I don't like, which means I'll never probably accumulate a lot of sneakers. But the things I love, to me, they're equal level. They're all grails. I don't have they're all the same to me.
Well, nah, man, I appreciate you. You know, just going different because everybody has different views and whatnot. Because you know, I mean, when you come from different eras, like we do, different areas and eras, you had different takes. So I hear it. Now, since we're at the '90s now, what's the first shoe and fit combo that you really broke necks with? Man?
Listen, 2001, 2000. I remember this shit like yesterday. It was a low top Air One, blue bottom, denim check.
Ooh, I remember those.
If you go back and look at the movie Belly, it's a scene where they kill Lennox, the Jamaican dude. You want to play rough? He's doing all that crazy shit. He has on they call it NYC. We call it a Nietzsche. He had a Nietzsche velour sweatsuit with the Nietzsche written big on the back. Mm-hmm. I have a dark blue one, white piping, baby blue trim. I think I got that for like $200. That was all my birthday money. I didn't care. My mom's like, "You gonna spend all your?" Yeah, I'm gonna spend all my money on this shit. Everything. That outfit right there, that was the one. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm here now. This is it. Like that, if I find that again, I might pull it out. That's crazy. Like that combination was crazy to me. But the denim, I love that Air Force One.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's not like when you put it together, it's like an epiphany. It's like, like
yeah, I promise you,
you ain't never the same after. Oh man. Now, I know you talk about, the East Coast being and Nas being kind of your influencer, but was there anybody, else that, was that was an influence to you?
Nas, so we're gonna go with my celebrities. Nas, Fabulous, Cameron, Pusha T. For different reasons. But my influence that I had in the physical, I had a cousin named Flint, right? Mm-hmm. Everybody has like that older cousin that's into like crazy fly shit, but mm-hmm. He had like a water band shit. Like, wait, I'm like, what is he doing? Like, I would go in the room, and if he's watching, he's probably looking at me like, oh, nah, no. I would go in his closet and look like, damn, he got like 15 Nautica Tommy, Helly Hansen windbreakers. Okay. Damn, it's like 20 plaids and polos in here. Okay. Oh, you got 3 pair of the same color penny. Okay. That was the person I'm looking at with like a double up. Nobody was doing that. I'm like, you got more double ups than people have shoes, period. So he was the first person I could look at like, damn, I counted, it's 18 pair of jeans in here. Okay. You on a whole nother level with this shit. So he was the person I would look at like, okay, he put the Tommy with the Nautica and the Ralphie windbreaker. Okay, that's how you do it. We're gonna mix match every brand. Okay. So that was the first physical person that I got to see get wavy for real. For real, for real. How y'all never seen Belly? They funny.
I'm looking at that too, like, nah. it was people I used to see like that though too, where I'm like, it's people at school who I might not have been necessarily friends with, but I knew. I'm like, okay, I'll see
You
you
gotta
niggas.
watch. Yeah, you gotta watch them. I promise.
Uh-huh.
It's like a ball player. Like I was a fake ball player in school, so things that I didn't have naturally, I would just look at like, okay, oh, he working on, he got a left hand layup. Okay, let me implement that in my game. So that's how I equate everything, even with life, like a ball player. I try to take little things and implement it to my own style and create something new.
Yeah. Like I remember this one kid. It was when I was in 10th grade, 96, 97. Like, it took me a little while to realize that a lot of these niggas was just selling dope. But, I'm always saying that because it was kids in school that was actually rich. But this nigga, I ended up working with him after, like, years later. I never told him this, but this nigga, from the beginning of school until, like, Halloween, this nigga didn't repeat his shoe. That shit just did something to me, and I'm like, how the fuck? Like I'm like Cade and Belly. I'm sure to be. I'm like, how the fuck does this nigga
Like, damn,
everything?
he on day 20. This is crazy. Like,
Yeah, like I mean, he went like a couple months, like not the same shoe. Like by like the 10th day, I'm like watching this nigga because he's a little older, and I'm just looking. Like, I need to, once I get a job, killing these niggas. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, yeah, that shit just really made an impression on me. I'm like,
every school, I think, if you ask probably any dude or any woman, man that's in the sneakers, they probably have a person that they could say, oh, it was so and so at my school. He or she was getting crazy, like crazy with the sneakers. That's funny. He went the whole first quarter without switching on you. That's funny.
Like if it wasn't Halloween, it was damn close. It was in October. Same shoe all that time, but I'm like, wow,
that is crazy.
And then I got to the point where, let me just say this, niggas was like switching laces to go with their shirts, and I'm like, man, I just need a whole yellow shoe, nigga. By the time I started working, like, fuck some yellow laces, just give me a whole yellow shoe. That's how we doing it, But that was after I started working. Hustling backwards. So
you know how it go. I got a homeboy that, cause like where I'm from in my circle, like sneakers and getting fresh are synonymous. Yeah. So like dudes in my era, it wasn't no such thing as they had sneakers, but they weren't fresh. It was the same. So I got a homie in my sandbox. He'll do the Tommy jeans. He'll put on the nautical windbreaker. He'll go to a Source magazine and find a Helly Hansen, but pre-Nelly. He'll go find a Helly Hansen ad, cut that Helly Hansen, put it on the Band-Aid, and this 96 he was doing this. I'm like, yo, you got Band-Aids. Like so this is the type of people I'm hanging out with. So they're going to public school. I'm going to private school, so I could save my fits. Mm-hmm. So my Saturday is crazy because I'm wearing uniform Monday through Friday. So my weekends, I'm going stupid on them.
Mm-hmm. So you need to fall.
Oh yeah, so our competition level was, damn, he bust that out. That's crazy. Okay, watch this. So it always kept, even to this day, like the homies that send me stuff, pictures. That's crazy. We send the stuff. They're like, I see you. Like this is young men games for old men. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. Nah, man. This is great. Now we're in the second quarter, which is kind of like from high school to maybe a couple years ago. So what was that? What was that first job that enabled you to cop the kicks?
All right, so my 11th grade year, I worked at this law office. I worked 2 days a week. The dude that was the lawyer, he had his own private little firm. All right, well, I won't get into that. So he would pay us, me and my man Jarvis, shout out to Jarvis, he would pay us $75 a week to take files down, to drive them to downtown LA, get the shit certified stamped because he didn't have time to do all this and consult clients and all that. So he would give us $75 a week. But my mom's was giving me like $20 a week for lunch. And then she started working nights. So she put an extra 10 on it. Like, you got to figure out how to fend for yourself. He go $30 a week. If you spend it on Monday, you dead for the rest of the week. So that money for times a month, 60, 120 from her a month. I'm getting 150. I'm getting 300 from him a month. I'm eating cupcakes and shit every day for food. I'm saving this money for sneakers. I'm like, I don't. Food is whatever. Whatever I can make some noodles and get full. I'm buying this shit. I'm gonna put this shit on for sure. So I'll spend if I got 300-400 for the month or 200 for the month. That shit's going to clothes and sneakers. Period. I'm not buying no food.
I feel that, man. I feel that.
So he was the first. His job, which to me wasn't really a job. I'm like, you just basically keeping us out of trouble at this point, which is cool. I need that 75 a week though. Thank you, because this is going straight to the Air One fund. We need all that.
So I know I'm dating myself and you. You don't have to answer this if you don't want
I'll
to.
answer.
Remember when lows was 69, mids was 74, and highs was 80?
Listen, I think I heard somebody on your I think it was one of your lives last week. I can't remember, and he was talking about. It might not have been, but somebody was talking about how their wife called them from the school to tell them to like tell this. The kid thought the cool grades it was the first release.
Yeah.
He had to tell like, boy, this should have been. When I'm around younger people and they see me with stuff, if they ask me a certain question, like I got my 09 pennies for $45, brand new.
Mm-hmm.
My penny twos. When I tell them these stories, they're like, huh? What do you, $50? I'm like, bro, even though somebody had it sit in the closet, I'm like, bro, this $200 thing is new. Nobody was paying this type of money for sneakers, bro. You had your Tim Duncans and things like that would come out, but bro, that wasn't the average price for sneakers. Now it's like $220 is the average. Like nobody was paying that back then. I think low top ones are what, $99 now?
Yeah, they're 100. Yeah.
You see them for a low top one? Come on, man.
Well, that's what I've been saying about the Jordan one. Like, that's an $80 shoe, man.
You see what?
That's an $80 shoe. You know, Dunks, $60 shoe.
No, nobody. And Dunks is until recently. Like I'm like, bro, nobody was paying. Do you think people's parents would have been paying $220? Like nobody was paying that, bro.
Nah. Yeah,
Look,
like
my suitcase Jordan $200. That's the highest you get. My brother had the suitcase,
and that was a big deal.
Crazy.
That was a big deal. Like
that was that was crazy for some. You see what I'm saying? Now, shit, every release.
Yeah, man, these playoffs, man. Like my pair from 04 is still wearable, but like I'm really considering. I'm like, man, 210, like. It's just crazy, you know. I'm like, man, do I really need another, you know? Because it's still a story, Jordan. My parents, you know, they're wearable, but they yellow, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care. But
the thing that gets me is like, because I'm looking at it like, I wish I had foresight to know that this thing would be circular. I would have kept all my shit. Mm-hmm. I would have kept everything. I thought Jay-Z and them ruined my life. Wear your shoes 2-3 times, get rid of them. I'm poor trying to live like them, but if I would have known that, oh no, bro, keep everything, I would have, because now I'm looking at it like, damn, okay, if shoes were $100, $120 then, and now it's $220, what's gonna be the next 10 years? $350 for? I'm not like, what are we looking forward to? Like, yeah. I'm not gonna stop being wearing sneakers, but what you want me to do? Like,
yeah, I mean, you're right. You're right. It's a dirty game.
It's nasty out here.
Oh man. Well. Do you remember the first shoe that you copped with your own money?
I don't want to put no cut on the dope, so I don't want to cap. It probably was Air. It had to be Air Force One. I can tell you the first shoe I was going to buy with my money. And I couldn't get it because they were all sold out. Now I had never experienced that. It was the Air Force 2.
What colorway? I gotta know this.
Oh, the original, the white with the red and blue.
Yes.
I remember this vividly because I had a girl who was older than me who had a car. She's taking me around. I'm like, let's just go to the usual World Foot Locker. They like sold out. I'm like, fuck you mean? Sold out what? I had never heard of that before. Sold out. I'm used to just coming in here copying shit. Sold out. They're like, we can call our other store at another mall. We'll make that call. Oh yeah, we got a 10 and a 10 and a half. Cool. I'll be there in 10 minutes. Get there. Somebody came and grabbed them. So wait. Whoa. This is the second place I've been to. What y'all mean? So that's when I started like, oh, people into this shit. Like, that was like, that's another devastating moment. Like, I'm in the car, like, with the cry face. Like, this is some bullshit. Like,
yeah, 76 Force 2s is a special thing, man.
That was crazy. Like, I don't remember the price on that, but I remember that day. I went to like 3-4 spots looking for that sneaker.
I think they were like $75.
Yeah, it wasn't much.
They were cheap.
80 something was 89 with tax or something crazy like that. But I remember that, like us going to different spots. I'm calling places like, what the fuck is going on right now? Like, I don't know this feeling.
And I could be wrong because I still, that 76ers one is the only one that I don't have that I had.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we had a garage sale when we left Cleveland in 20, and I sold it to one of my friends because my pair was really a little too small.
Mm-hmm.
But I really feel like that 76ers one costed more than the other ones that I have.
Makes sense.
You know, I think, I don't know if it's because they were limited. It didn't say LE on the box, but
right.
Yeah, like I got the all navy ones with the gray. Like I couldn't have paid more than $60 for them.
Mm-hmm.
Knicks ones were cheap. The
right.
Carolina ones were cheap. So I think it was just
Carolina. Listen, I was looking for a pair of them 2 weeks ago. Man, look, that shit. That might be the best one.
Yeah,
that Carolina is crazy.
Everybody loves the Knicks one, but I'm like, nah, man. I'd put the yellow one and the Carolina one.
The yellow one is crazy. The yellow one is crazy. Why don't they bring this stuff back? Man, we're going to talk about this at halftime because I got questions.
Yeah. We'll talk about that because they did bring back SB, but I'm like, why? But
I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll wait on that. So, all right. Well, that was going to be actually my next question. What was like kind of like a sneaker L back in those days, but you told me that was one. Was there another that was kind of on that level where you couldn't touch it in the early 2000s?
I'm going to use that one because that was one that I felt like pain, physical pain again. Like this shit has hurt me. Like my girl left me. Like why am I feeling spiritually? Like what's wrong? I don't think people know that they love something until they don't have access to it, and then they feel it. That shit made me physically sick. Like my girl rubbing my head, like you okay? I'm like, no, I'm not okay. Like this shit got me. Take me home. I don't even want to do nothing for the rest of the night. Like, and I hadn't thought about it until you just asked me that question. Like, damn, you just brought back memories, Shorty. Now I see.
My bad. I didn't mean to do that.
No, you good.
Shit, but even now, them 76ers ones is kind of hard to come by. They're either fucked up or they're $300. Like I heard the story. I had bought a pair for $140. The motherfucker told me he ain't have them no more, and they were fucked up or something. And then they're relisted now for $250. So I messaged him like, so are they not damaged? You know what I mean? Like, and they're still for sale. Like, I hope you don't never sell them bitches. Fuck you. Bullshit.
That's how I feel. I got real vitriol hate for listen, man. When it comes to these sneakers, man, don't play with me. Don't lie to me about the condition if I want to cop them used. Don't try to play with no prices, bro. Like, just keep it funky. What we doing? Like,
yeah. You know, now, like I said, it's been about two weeks, and the bitches are still sitting.
See what I'm saying? Like, hope the soul fall out in my voice.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this.
Oh shit!
What's a sneaker regret for back then? Where you're like, man, I really shouldn't have bought them bitches back then, though.
Back then. Now we can fast forward until I'm like 19, 20, 21.
For sure.
Regret then. I'll show you a sneaker regret now that everybody on the live they're gonna get off the live and tell me I'm on crack. A sneaker regret then was every creative recreation I bought. You remember that brand?
Oh yeah, with the strap. I remember it well.
Dookie. Like I don't know. I think in my brain I was trying to make them like mid-tier designer.
Hey, I look at that as that was a moment though. Like everybody was born late 2000s. There was a moment.
Dookie. Straight Churdash. I'm like, sometimes I think about that like, what was I could have bought it. Why was I trying to I think I was trying to make something hot that just wasn't gonna ever be hot. That's all. I'll take that L.
Like that was that era. I mean, they weren't the same, but that reminds me of like when they had them Greedy Genius shoes and just
I see you talk about the doggy fizzles the other day. I started I mean, on one of your sneaker conversations, I'm like the dog, like stuff like that is like, yo, why would I do that to myself?
Yeah.
Dookie, I'm thinking I'm fresh. I'm putting creative reg. No, bro, that's not it. That wasn't it. Not at all.
I didn't have a lot of it, but I was really fucking with the Ed Hardy and the Christian Audigier.
Now listen, that's an LA thing. Like,
even still,
oh, it's back. Word is bomb. Ed Hardy is back, right? Ed Hardy is back right now. Young people are wearing Ed Hardy for sure. That's a fact.
Wow.
As a fit, it is getting praised. That is a fit. That's a fact. Ed Hardy is back for the young people. That's why I say I wish I would have never gotten rid of any of that shit, because even if I didn't wear it now, I could just tell young people, like, I just got Ed Hardy shit from 2007.
Yeah, I saw Von Dutch came back a hot little bit.
Von Dutch. BB Simon belts. I was wearing all this shit. I put a post up yesterday. I was with Jim Jones and Magic. We were doing this shit in real life. Affliction t-shirts and all this type of rock and roll shit. We were really doing this. So it's another, when I look at those pictures, I'm like, again, what was I thinking? Like, no, that's not it.
I was wearing Ed Hardy's with some fucking fusions, bro. Like, you couldn't tell me shit, man. 2008, I was trying to look like, between that and trying to look like Kanye, you know, the graduation Kanye, couldn't tell me nothing, all them colors and all that shit. Fucking, what was the shit called? Gilliard. I used to fuck with that. There was a lot of just ain't around now. I'm like, man,
That's funny that you say that, because my college era is probably when I would wear A-Life. I'm a hood dude. I wear A-Life.
I still got some
Brooks and Castles, Lamar and Darley. But I'm mixing this shit with women's Donna Karan trainers. So I'm on a whole, and they like, for one, you got on girl shoes. Like, I was one of the first dudes that I knew of going to Ladies Foot Locker. Hey, let me get you got a 12 in these? Yeah, I need them Air Maxes. I need that. They looking like, my homies were like, are you going in the, yeah, I need that.
Yeah.
I'm putting these different things together, trying to, I guess, find my own little wave at the time. My LRG jean collection was crazy.
Yeah. Hey, I used to do that women's. I can still fit a women's 12 in some shoes now. Now they'll make women's 13s, but yeah, like, I still got Dunks and Air Force Ones, and even some Jordans from the 2000s that are women's 12s that I will pull out.
I got a women's is getting restored right now. I got a women's low top 8.
Oh, the brown one?
Yeah, the brown with the pink and white.
Ooh.
Yeah. When I wear that out, I didn't have dudes walk up on me and try to insinuate like they fake. I just be like, bro, you don't know, bro. It's cool. Like,
you had to be there, bro.
Yeah, I still bust him out. Like, that's something, you know what I'm saying? So I was always big on, like, listen, bro, they only making red, navy blue, black, white, and gray for us. Mm-hmm. The girls got gold, teal, orange, burnt orange. Nah, bro, I'm going to get a woman's sneaker. Facts. I'm doing that.
It's still a sneaker. It's not like it's.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? So.
It ain't gonna make me like, I am who I am, regardless in the sneaker. Like, I remember my friends not even wanting to walk into a Ladies Foot Locker. They would stand outside the store and wait for me. I'm like, now I look at it like, y'all crazy as hell. They got all this shit in there. The women got all this shit.
Then when I wear this shit, you're gonna be telling me how fresh I am.
How fresh it is.
The Aqua 8s, the women's Aqua 8s, man. Niggas can tell me shit.
Fire.
You know, the shopping 5s. Killer niggas. You know. Yeah, man, I appreciate that. I'm glad I'm not the only one that was doing that, because, man, women had some shit, man. You know, the fucking 5s, them bitches was hard.
The colorways, I tell you, it's the colorway, bro. Like, that's why I say I look at it as synonymous. Like, my clothes aren't just basic black, blue, gray, and red. I play with colors and flavors, so I need certain shit. Like, I can't just wear white, wear one with everything, bro. Like, you got to switch that shit up.
I donated all of my Crooks and Castles stuff, but I still have some Lamar and Dolly, because some of that shit is just too unique. Like, one fucking shirt, it's just got kid on the front.
You had a kid play. See,
yeah.
I'm gonna post a picture after this. See, now you got me turned up. I got one with I think it's Hakeem Olajuwon. He got the finger with the rings. I'm gonna post that shit, and I got woman Air Maxes on in the picture. I'm gonna post it after we get off.
I remember that one. I shoot, the ones I can think of off the top of my head. I got the one with Jordan from the '88 All Star game. Up, it's faded as fuck though. The kid one. It's
I
another.
think they had Doc G, a Humpty Hump with like just the glasses and the nose and the gold chain at one point. Like they had
Like that. I had
Lamar
one
Darling.
up that had Gangstar on the back.
See,
Where
people
had,
don't know about Lamar Darling. People don't know about Lamar Darling.
Yeah, they had some nice, it's some other ones where it's just, prints or patterns. But the last thing I got, when they did the little collab with Reebok, like 2013, they made the jacket, had Iverson and Dominique on it.
Yeah.
So I grabbed that. But yeah, I miss them.
One thing I learned about this the internet is that I'm glad I got on here because it taught me that some of this shit ain't coming back no more, bro. You may not ever see this stuff ever again.
Yeah.
I need to hold on to everything.
And being the term sneakerhead is such a generic term now. I don't even really like to use it, but some of those brands from the 2000s, like Sneak Tip, like a lot of them brands were like ahead of their time. Where it's like even now, like I have one shirt, it's just got Barkley on it, but his face and body are green. I wear it with the green.
See what I'm saying?
Like, you know what I mean? People are like, where the fuck did you get that? I'm like, it's from 2006.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
right. Even when I would do Stussy, then I got a Stussy Ranger. Actually, the picture you put is a Stussy raincoat. Okay. When I would do Stussy, then dudes wasn't like hood dudes definitely wasn't fucking with no Stussy. I'm doing, like I said, I would do Stussy with a fucking all brown Bo Jackson with a cream bottom, just random shit that they'd be like, bro, I never saw that, but what the fuck is that? Where'd you get that shit from?
I have those. I'm afraid to wear them. Too. So old.
I looked those up like 2 weeks ago. I'm like, damn, this shoe was crazy.
Curry Bo Jackson.
The Curry one. Yep.
That fucking leather on them. Like, cause my friend, he has a pair, and his pair crumbled. And I'm like, man, these bitches is from 03. I didn't buy the dunks that came with them. I just bought the Bo Jackson. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I'm literally afraid to wear them, but I want to wear them.
Man, put the bitches on, take a picture, and put it back in the box. Period. Don't even take a step in them.
Yeah,
that shoe right there. I think that's one of his. That's crazy. Like that was one I would pull out, and people would be like, "Yo, where the fuck did you get this at, bro?"
Yeah, like I was working at Foot Action when they came out, and like it's in the box. I'm like, it's 11 and a half. It's for me.
I promise.
Yeah. All right. Well, I don't know, that kind of leads us right into halftime. You've answered so many questions I need to get to ask.
Listen, man, we just talking shit at this point.
Beautiful thing. So, all right, it's halftime. So, the Air Force 2, they came out with it because I have a weak pair, and there's another pair I wanted to get. It's the 76ers pair, but the colors are so muted, it really doesn't look the same. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I don't know why they don't come back with that. The Air Force 3 too. I feel like that whole. Remember, we had that whole high top era, like 12 to 15. I don't know what happened. They brought back the Command Force.
What do you like? I don't even know anybody that has any insight of what's going on, like in these offices. Like, we know who's in there, but who's saying like, yeah, this is it right here. We should drop this shit. Like, nobody's saying like, no, this is some bullshit. They don't want this. Like, what's going on? Like,
see, in my opinion, I feel like Nike used to take more chances in the 2000s with non-Jordan or foam positive Nike retros. Now, if you really look at it, it's the same 12 to 15 shoes. It's the same Air Maxes generally. It's the same.
Like, this is my favorite shoe of all time, probably.
Air Revolution.
I didn't have 8 pair of these motherfuckers. Why don't they, like if I had a shoe and if I was an artist, I would bring this back and do my own thing. Why?
Yeah, I'm with you because that pair is from 13. Now I will say this: if they bring it back, they have to do it right because I have the blue ones like that. Them bitches are uncomfortable as fuck. So they make them like the 2018 Jordan 3.
Okay.
A little more comfortable. Comfortable. I really feel like, again, they just go with what's safe. We'll bring out the same Griffies. the same Deons, the same pennies. You know, like I was shocked when they brought back the penny 3 again. I'm like, for real? And since it
Yeah.
didn't sell that great, we probably won't see it again for another 10 or 15 years.
Look, somebody said put a reverse swoosh on it and sell it for 2 racks.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, but I mean, you think about it. Think of the last couple of years. Like, it's always the CB94. They barely bring back the Godzilla. We haven't seen the Fab 5 Barkley, the Force Max B since 13 in the black. So it's the same shoes. It's the same safety. We know a CB94 Phoenix is going to sell, so we'll just bring that out again. So that's what I think happens. Bring back a damn Hyperflight. Bring it back correctly, because they had a bunch of retros of them in 14. But they were all awful.
Yeah.
Hyperflight, fucking Tiger Stripes shit.
I know they got the is that Hyperflight that the Clark Kent? Does he have a crazy Hyperflight?
No, he got a hyper
dunk. It's a hyper dunk.
The Hyperflight is the shiny shoe from 01, Damon Stoudemire and Jason Williams. So
I just moved here like a month or two ago, right? So I'm cleaning out. This how I'm cleaning out shit, throwing shit away. I'm throwing away Jordan 2 red candy pack. I threw them shits out. Yeah,
throw them away.
So this is how I got back into the sneaker shit, right? So we don't even have time. We could talk some shit. My flight posits, threw them out. So I was working at managing the UPS store. So a lot of young people would come in there doing StockX. They shipping out stuff. I'm wearing my shit to work. Like, I'm wearing Rookie of the Years to work and shit. So the kids, they would look at me like, one kid in particular, I never forget. He said, bro, I had on, what do you call this, Safari Air Max 1, the Atmos joint. He said, you know what you got on? I'm like, yeah, I know what I got on. Like, I didn't know this is my everyday shit. I didn't know this was a thing. Like, sneakers was a thing.
Mm-hmm.
He made me realize, like, oh, shit. People were coming like, damn, you got your Cement 3s on at work? Yeah. I'm like, oh, so I had to start going to, before I had social media, I'm going to YouTube. I'm like, sneaker culture? What the fuck are they talking about? What is this phrase? I'm looking at videos like, no, we just get fresh. Like, this is not like a separate thing. So I realized it was a thing. Like, oh, shit. Oh, this is like a hobby. There's nothing wrong with it. I just didn't know. People looked at me crazy for wearing this shit in an 8-hour shift. I didn't know that at first. So that's how I got back acclimated into this shit. Like, okay, let me get back and let me start getting some more shit again. Let me get right back into it like I was.
Yeah.
She said, what?
I think we all have periods of time where we're not as into it as other times. Like, I know for me, whatever, like, from maybe 17, middle 17, probably the middle 18, I wasn't as in it. You know what I mean? Like, I was still copping here and there, but I wasn't really, it's periods of time, I think, where everybody just kind of like, take a little break or whatever. But I feel that, man. Now that it's like, how long ago was this when you?
This is like 2014. Like, when I came to Chicago, I'm gonna show you something. When I came to Chicago, I would use shit like this. Like, these are my beaters.
Okay. 1A.
I would wear New Balances and shit, Sauconys and shit. Then my friends would laugh at me. Here, they'd be like, "Bro, we don't wear." Everybody out there in Jordans. So I'm wearing my 740. That's why I talk about the 740 New Balance so much. Like, I'm wearing this shit with outfits. They looking at me like, "Bro, you got on New Balance, bro." Like,
wear these. Yeah.
You got on Sauconys, bro. Like, what you doing? Like, I'm like, bro, I just wear what I like, what I think is fresh. Like, now when I see it, I'm like, okay, I got a weird hater energy about me with people, but I have to let people do their own thing when it comes to the culture. Like, I can't dictate, like, when somebody finds something that they like, or what do they find that they like. I can't be like, we was doing this shit 20 years ago. I can't do that, even though we were. But
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So I just let people do them. But I remember 2014, 15 when I moved here, niggas was laughing at me for wearing Sauconys, for sure. Niggas was laughing at me for wearing New Balances. That's a fact.
And now they're saying, now they're,
So,
oh man.
so she said, who said that you better not throw out no more shoes? You're right. I ain't throwing nothing else out. That's over with.
Now that red too, like, so you were in Chicago 2014. So when you were there, Villa was still like a store, right?
It's still what y'all call it now. It's called
Well, they bought it out by DTLR.
DTLR. Yeah, Villa was here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I used to work for Villa, and when the candy pack came out, like I started working maybe 6 months after that. So they didn't sell, so they were all there. So I got the green one, but I never bought the yellow one or the red one.
I want the light blue one. That's
Oh man, that's
on my radar.
it was so many of them bitches. Like that's
To me, that's the best one.
Yeah,
that's on my radar right now.
It's so many of them, but whenever I see them, they usually be fucked up or yellow as fuck or both.
Yeah.
Not that matters, but you know, yeah, that's something nice.
Like when I toss them shits, I'm like, even though they beat up, I shouldn't have tossed them. I should have kept them.
The thing about those is like the toe area. I don't know if they just painted that leather bad or something.
That shit was the first part that got faked.
Yeah, because
it was the first part.
Look like, but when are they gonna bring back a green Jordan 2? Like that's probably never gonna happen. But
look though, Shorty. Once this union drops,
yeah,
everybody news again. So you already know.
But
you already know what's happening. Yeah, showtime. So I'm about to start copping many twos as I can now, because them bitches will go up triple the price next year. So
yeah. Oh man. Well, let's jump into quarter number 3, which is everybody's favorite part, sneaker present. So, what's your current favorite shoe to wear now? I also like that hat. The young ones. Okay.
I done had about 5 pair of the same color. This is my favorite shoe to wear.
Now, those came out in the 90s, and they were called something different, and it's killing me that I can't remember.
Did it start with a T?
I can't even remember, because, like, they had a shoe called the Solution. Now they call it something else, because it looks sort of like the Wave Runner or whatever. Mm-hmm. But I remember it as the Solution back in the day. But, yeah, I remember those shoes, those young ones. I just can't remember what they were called, but those are nice.
That's my most comfortable. This is the one, like, if I'm around, I know young people are gonna be there. I pull these out. 2012 March Madness pack. Just because I just want to, I don't want to talk shit. I know they're gonna ask me like, "Oh, I never saw those." So I just want to talk shit to the young people. But for comfortability, is definitely them young ones for sure, no doubt.
No, I never seen those. I'm like, you ain't. It is a struggle not to be a gatekeeper, but sometimes the young people just be too boisterous with the shoes. It's like,
I'm gonna be honest. When the young boy said that to me, my response was damn near arrogant. I chuckled like, "Yeah, I know what they are." Like, the fuck, like, who you talking to, bro? I was doing this when your mama had a curfew in real life. Stop, bro. We've been doing this, like, so I have to dial back because the young people are the future. And they got information that I don't have. You know what I'm saying? All that stuff. So I have to be I don't have to do shit, but I choose to be humble in my approach. Like, look, bro, it's some shit in this closet that you ain't never seen, bro, and you never gonna be able to afford. So I got 04 Air Raids in here and shit that the colors never came. They never gonna come back out. I'm like, bro. So sometimes you gotta flex on them just a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Speaking of 04 Air Raids, that they had the Tuskegee Air Raid that came out with those forces.
Mm-hmm.
They had a pair. They were like unofficial LeBron Air Raids. They were like Cavs colors, and I think they might have had the logo on the insole or something. But that's another one I've been kind of looking for, but it'd be a wear risk. So I don't even know if it'd be worth it to cop it.
Do you have stuff that you know that it's gonna be a wear risk, but depending on the price, you're like, fuck it. If I get one wear, I'm buying it.
It's happened before. I haven't done that in a while, but
okay.
Yeah, because I'm like, man, I still want to touch it, wear it. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, it's happened. Unfortunately, I mean, nowadays, it's so many people that do soul swaps. It's just getting a shoe that's unswappable. that's where I'm. But I put, that's the only thing.
This the '09 one, right?
Oh,
Now I would have kept the soul, but I'm like, this shit is unstoppable. I'm in a club and this shit came apart.
uh,
I just got mad and tossed, but I kept it because that's like, this the '09 pair. I didn't think this shit was ever gonna come back out. That's why I kept it. But yeah, this shit came off the bottom, came off in the club on me.
I had that happen to me. It was summer of 2010. I was still wearing. I was on my second pair of '99 black and red fours, and that happened where they didn't come off, but they were like definitely crumbling in the club, and I was like, I had to get the fuck out of here. Like, I'm glad it's dark.
Yo, check, we out. We out of here.
Yeah, I'm glad it's dark. Oh man. Oh man, yeah. But usually, like the Fab Five Barkley is probably the one I'm looking for the most because my pair from '01 is done. A lot of shoes that were on the bubble of just being old, crumbling. When we moved to North Carolina, a lot of them got taken out by that just from the move. So when they came out in 13, I could still wear that '01 pair, but.
Okay.
That's one where I keep finding pairs from '07, and I'm like, man, it could work. But it ain't like I had it since '07, so I know it'll fit. I'm a lot fatter than I was. I don't know if this is going to work. So it's a few shoes where I'm like, nah, I'm just not going to get this. Air Force 3s all the time. I find them all the time, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to wear them.
It like, what do you give it? Like a 10-year, 11-year, like real lifespan? Where you like, I know I got 10 years in these for sure.
Well, it depends on the shoe. Like, I have a lot of shoes from the '80s that are still wearable. Anything with a rubber base is a go.
Okay.
Jordan ones, Dunks, Chucks, other random basketball shoes from the '80s, weapons, and that shit is a go. But if it's got foam on it,
it's over with.
I'll say I'll go back to maybe 06.
16.
And that's even that's 06, 07. It's a little.
Okay.
It also depends on the shoe too.
Okay. For sure.
What about you?
Like it's stuff that I'm looking at. I'm like, man, I can't. Like, if I get 2 wears out of this shit, I'm gonna be mad. Like,
yeah. If it's cheap, I don't really care. If it's sometimes I spend more than that on the meal. So, so, but yeah, it's hard. It depends on a lot of things like that go into that. So, anything with a rubber base, though, I'm gonna try it. Okay. Like my oldest pair, I got a pair of Adidas. What the fuck are they called? I can't remember what they called. So I have a pair of Adidas from 1976, and I have these Converse Road Stars from 1981s. They're running shoe. Now, I actually wore those Road Stars to work. I was walking light, but they didn't crumble on me, even though they were 40 years old. So
that's impressive.
I was walking light, though.
That's impressive.
Fortunately, I had a short day that day, so it wasn't really too bad. But, well, it's always a tough question to ask, but where do you get your shoes now?
Oh, they tough. eBay. I'm an eBay champion.
Okay. Yeah,
to me, eBay is best because I get to directly go in that message box and have these conversations with you. See, before, like, so I got those, this pair, and I got the white and blue from '09, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was a lady on eBay selling them. She wanted like, this years ago, she wanted like $60 a piece. She said it was brand new. I go in the message box. I'm like, what's the condition? Send me more pictures. I'm like, 60? She like, look, this is a story she tell me. She says, me and my boyfriend broke up. This all the stuff. He got a lot of stuff here. He left. I'm just trying to get rid of this shit. I said, I got 40 a piece. She said, sold. I said, well, check it out. Forget the shipping. I work for UPS. I'm going to email you a label. You ain't forget. So I would do that, and eBay started hitting me up like, bro, you can't, like, basically, you can't be using our platform, because I think I hit her like, she was like the what they call like the fee. I'm like, we can just do PayPal. Forget this. Like, I just do, and they started hitting me up. I would do this a lot. They started hitting me up like, we're gonna suspend your account. You can't be basically using our platform to cut side deals outside of eBay, that type of shit. So eBay was always like the best. It's still the best to me. Gold is cool. eBay, Gold, StockX for me. Like, I don't have like shit about to start falling. Like the sneaker community, like I always felt like I'm not a part of the community because I don't have no sneaker plugs. I never did a raffle. I never waited in a line. So I don't have these war stories like the sneakerheads. I don't know about going to Sneakers app and them telling me no. I never did that before in my life. I go straight. When I see, I just go straight to the internet. I don't have the psychological and emotional capacity to deal with rejects for a whole year and 2 years straight. I can't do that. So if it's some shit that I see that I like, I'm trying to catch it or I'll wait. Patience. Like most of the things I've caught, if I told you the prices, you'd be like, get the fuck out. Like, I was just being patient. Like, I got my Travis threes. Are they threes or fours? Fours. Threes, fours. From a boutique here in Chicago, Boneyard. It was one of those days, like, a lot of these boutiques, like round two, they'll have, like, early in the day, they'll have a Wave Runner, $100. It'd be like 12 o'clock in the day. Everybody's at work. They just trying to get people. It was a Tuesday. I'm off. They like, Travis, $300. I go right there. I gave him $200 and a used Supreme Fear of the Black Planet t-shirt. I'm like, there's no way if I tell people I got this shit for $200 in a used shirt, they're going to believe me. No way. My Justin Timberlake Jordans, the brown ones, whatever, I got them for like $160, brand new off eBay. Like, nobody's going to believe these stories, but it was just, I was patient. And I'm up all night, 13, 14 windows in my phone. I'm on these sites. I'm looking. I'm up all day looking for shit. And I catch a lot of stuff. I'm not gonna lie. A lot of stuff.
Nah, I'm with you. I'm with you. That's really what's kept my collection going. eBay, Poshmark, Macari.
Yep. On that. You and Kiki. I didn't know about Poshmark. I didn't know about what y'all call the other Macari. I didn't know about none of this stuff until like 2 weeks ago. Like, I thought all that shit was like fake shoes. I didn't know this stuff had real. I didn't know. I'm on the internet like, oh yeah, okay.
On Poshmark and Macari specifically, it's been plenty of shoes that people just misrepresent or they don't know what they have, you know, and it'll be dirt. Like, for instance, I still fuck with LeBron. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I never wanted him to go to the Lakers, and I'm from Cleveland.
Me,
but it's, you know, like his shoes, LeBron's, KD's, it used to be Kobe's. I mean, you know, they used to be dirt on there. Any shoe that's actually used for basketball, if it's not completely destroyed and the bottom isn't smooth, I'll give it a look. You know, I'm gonna disinfect the fuck out of it, clean it, whatever. But yeah, Macari has been good to me. eBay has to. You know, the only thing about eBay is if you get something with an authenticity guarantee, you can't really message the people.
You can't really. That authenticity, that type of shit is a whole new kind of, you know, which I like it. I think it's cool.
Yeah. But sometimes it be shit you don't need to, like, last year I found a pair, they were dead stock, a pair of Converse Cons. It's the shoe that Magic and Bird and them wore after the wedding. But it looks a lot like. They were brand new, still had the tag on it, and they still had to be authenticated. Like, I know that this shoe is authentic. It's
like, not making versions of this. Like,
yeah, give me this shoe. Like, well, I gotta wait an extra couple days because you know, like, certain stuff you don't need to authenticate, especially if it's old as fuck. You know, that's the only thing. I'll just say that it should be a choice.
It should be a choice for sure.
You know, but I do think eventually eBay is gonna start charging for the authenticity guarantee.
Oh, that for sure.
It's only a matter of time.
It might be time for a new authenticity site. It's time for something new. We got eBay, we got StockX, we got Go Grail, but it's time for some new shit. Like, we need more.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm all about the obscure, you know, I'll get the shit that, you know, like I'd like to have a pair of UNC sixes because the six is always gonna be a shoe I'm gonna give a look because it's a six. But you know, if I don't get it, you know, I know I'm gonna have it eventually somehow.
That's a hood special right there, Shorty. You already know. The hood gonna have them. You know that.
It's hard for me to say that about a Jordan 6, but it's the truth.
Niggas gonna be at the tax office with them on, baby.
I know, man. I mean, it's still not as bad as the Racer Blue 5 or, you know, I'll still say the hood. I still feel like the hood doesn't fuck with ones and threes. Twos don't even count. Twos is a sneakerhead and old dude shoe.
Yeah.
For now. That'll change.
The hood not fuck with ones at all.
Nah. Ones, and I feel like ones and threes, like if you see somebody in the hood with the threes, it's usually the black cements.
The cements, yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Not even the white, but just the black.
Mm-hmm.
Occasionally you might see a nigga with that red cement or that blue, but not usually. You know, it's usually just the black cement. You ain't seeing nobody in the hood with no threes for real. I feel like the Carolina ones would have been a hood shoe if they would have came out full family.
Yeah. Yeah, Aqua 8, the hood shoe. Aqua 8, every 12.
Every 12, every 13, every 13.
Yeah, that's the hood shoe for sure.
Before the True Flight, the 7 was a hood shoe too.
It was.
Before the True Flight.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so you get ready. The tax office is going to be lined up with Carolina Blue, baby. You already know what it is.
Since I got the black UNC 6s, man, I ain't even tripping, man. I would just see what happens. You know what I'm saying? I would just see what happens. The hood don't fuck with it either, for real, for real. Hey, if it's not a 574, you're right.
Wait, what? What are you talking about?
No, I just saw somebody conscious fitness the hood fuck with New Balances either. If it's not a 574. 574 has been a hood shoe before.
Facts. Only that one. That's a fact. That's a fact.
It's the 2 for $89 Foot Locker joints where they got the colorful joints and all that, you know. I don't even think you'll see a gray 574 in the hood.
You wouldn't. For sure.
Nah.
Not for that. Oh.
Nah. Yeah. All right. Well, what's the shoe, in your opinion, you know, from the last couple of years, we'll say since 15, so the last 7 years, what's the shoe that you have that you feel like didn't really age well, whether it was condition or popularity?
I'm trying to see if it's something that I got.
I'll tell you mine. I mean, I always say it. It's them damn Griffies, man. They make the midsole out of like whiteout. Like it just isn't good paint. I'm trying to get rid and sell my black UNC 6s at 10.5.
I got it down. I just don't feel like the Kith Pippin, the purple one. I thought that was gonna be super crazy.
Oh, the Mike. Okay.
I said, oh, they're gonna go crazy for this. Is Ronnie, is Kith. Nah, I think I got my pair for $89 or something. I'm like, cool. I thought that shit was gonna be through the roof. Nah, no, I don't be seeing. I don't see a lot of people in the streets for certain stuff. Like it's starting to make me feel like, do y'all wear like? I'm outside in one of the most populated cities in America. I don't see a lot of shit. Like, I see the same shoes, same colors. I don't see stuff like that. Like, I thought I wear that shoe with outfits. Like, people like, oh, that's crazy. I'm like, if it's crazy, then how come nobody got it? Like, because I don't see it outside.
Yeah, no, I feel that. I'll tell you a shoe that I don't really ever see. And I know it wasn't a regular release, but I just never see it. Is that last Grape 5 without the laces. I never see them bitches. Trash. I would put laces on if I come up, but still.
Them nasty. Like, you said, I like them. They nasty to me. You said they age well to you, yo.
I just said I'll put the laces in mine. You know what I'm saying? I'll do the little hole.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Just because the Grape is a special shoe, and my 2006 Grapes have crumbled. The 2013 pair was made like shit. The leather on them, when I put them next to each other, the 06 pair kills it.
Kills it, yeah. The quality for sure.
You know, but yeah.
That Kith I thought was going to be super. I'm like, this is going to be crazy right here. This is, nah, not at all. outlet special, low key. Like, shit is crazy to me.
Other than the first retro of 05, anytime they pulled out the Air Maestro 2, it's always set. Every time. It was big in 05, that red one. It's gone. But when it came out in that 2018 pack, it's sat. You know, any of the other times, it's a pimping like nobody cares.
They made so many different colorways. They should have just left it at the purple one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what maybe that cheapened it. I don't know what it was, but I thought for sure. I'm like, Ronnie got his name attached to this. They're gonna go crazy for this, but not at all. Easy at all. So good for me. I got it for the low.
What I really see still kind of go is that Pippin one with all the leopard and prints and stuff on it. Yeah, the all black pony hair one kind of goes.
That's fire.
But yeah,
that's fire.
Yeah. Now, what is your most recent pickup? You know, I got it, but you know, you don't want to pull it out. You can just tell.
I don't even take a lot of pictures. Saucony did a collab with like Bodega like maybe 3, 4, 5 years ago. I was looking for this so long. I couldn't find it for the price I was willing to pay. And then one day, good old eBay, like $79 brand new. Sold. I need that. I was patient. Like sometimes I'll be ready to push the button. Like fuck it. No, patience with me is like been my recipe for finding sneakers. You just might have to wait 2, 3 years, Daddy. Like you're gonna get it though for the price even cheaper than whatever you were willing to pay. So that's one of my favorite sneakers I got in this whole collection. I love that shoe. For
sure. Now, you touched on it earlier a little bit, but what are these regrettable purchases that
I'm gonna show these? They're gonna tell me I'm on crack.
I'm not.
I bought these. This is the only shoe I got in here because I fell for the hype. I don't like these. I don't wear them. I was wearing these shits to work. To me, it's just not a good outfit sneaker. But I've seen people wear it and go crazy with them. For me, though, it's not a good. I don't like them. They're gonna sit in here and collect dust. If I can get rid of them, I get rid of them. I don't really. And some people, it's a grail, I know, but nah. I got New Balances in here that I'll take over these shits any day.
I'll just say for me, you know, the 11 will always be special because of what it is. And I definitely feel like I own a lot of shoes just because I'm into sports and specific moments in time where it's like, but I find myself wearing my 11s less and less. The cool grays were a lot more comfortable than some of the other 11s that I have, but I'm always looking at the 6 first, you know, or something like an Aqua 8, a Bordeaux 7, white, black, and red 13. Like I'm gonna be thinking about that. If I wear an 11, I'll even say if I break out a black and red, I still have my pair from 2001. I'll wear them before I wear the 19 pair just because it's like perfectly, you know, my foot is like perfectly molded to the shoe or whatever. It's so old, but it's probably only got a few wears left before it separates.
Yeah, it's just a shoe that I'm not gonna front. Like I got caught up in the hype. I ain't gonna like that's the one shoe I have that I got caught up in the hype for sure. I never really liked that shoe ever. Like
now, Carl just asked,
do I got any Kobe's?
Yeah, do you have any Kobe's?
No. I might cop a Grinch soon, but what's the word? Contrary to popular belief, that shit wasn't like dudes wasn't rocking that. Like how people look at like that was a hooper shoe, like you play ball in that, like, but it wasn't a shoe that you wear like with a fit. My brother got like closets full of that shit, but I was never into Kobe sneakers. I never thought it looked good with clothes. None of the models he ever came out with, I felt looked good with outfits.
some go to the store, some sweatpants type of shit. That's what I would. But but the Grinch joints, I'm not gonna lie, that's special right there. That's different. That might to me that's the best shit he ever came out with. That Grinch is crazy.
I've always said to me the Grinch Kobe 6 is like it's sort of like the South Beach LeBron 8. Like they all have that shoe, or to me with KD, the Nerf KD 4. Like they all have one shoe where it's like the Grail of Grails. It seemed like, you know, but I mean, I've heard that about Kobe before, and I'll say it. I mean, I'm just such a huge fan of his. Where I was wearing his shoes with outfits, but I know most people weren't. And what used to frustrate me, especially after the Kobe one from 2 through 6, you could really only buy them at Foot Locker, and most of the Laker colorways they might have a black and yellow one, but all the other ones would just come out in Asia. That used to frustrate me. I was like, how could this be an Asia exclusive?
I think the only Kobe I ever had was the Crazy
8. Black and white?
Right, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That was my. Now that's crazy. I would wear that with a fit.
Yeah, I mean, to me, people always talk, or act like it was all, Jordans were a priority. Most people wanted, but that specific year, 97, 98, if you didn't have the 13s, you either had the Crazy 8 or you had that Answer Iverson, the black and gold one, or the white and red one. Like, there were other shoes out, So, I feel it. I've never owned that black and white Crazy 8. I have the black and purple one, All-Star game, but I've never had that black and white one. It's always slipped through my fingers.
That black and white one, I might have to find that was different. Like, that was crazy. That black and white one was crazy.
Whenever I find it, especially now since it's been years since it's been out, I just can't see paying $200 or $250 for that shoe. I didn't want to pay $125 all the other times it came out. I'm like, damn, man, this bitch ain't on sale for $89.99 or $9.99.
The words are coming out of my mouth as you saying. I think I got my pair for $89 at Stonewood Mall, a mall that nobody do. Like, I had to go somewhere else to go get them. That's a fact.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kobe sneakers is as beloved as he was in the town. Nah, dudes was rocking that, like you said, Iversons and shit. Like, that's what, what I'm saying?
Yeah. I feel like before, you can say before he died, but even when he was still playing, you were either a fan of his or you were a hooper. Those were the only people that were wearing his shoes.
That's a fact.
So. Yeah.
I wonder why he never, well, I don't know. Like, why they never got into like not a lifestyle sneaker, but something a little more outfit appropriate. Like, I don't know.
I just feel like his mind was just strictly on performance and just performance. Where I ain't gonna say I'll never say Kobe ain't had no swag, but he just, I mean, he wasn't really.
He wasn't swaggy.
Nah, he wasn't really about making a shoe that looked good. He wanted the shoe to perform well. So, where I feel like LeBron and KD were more focused on how their shoe looked as opposed to performance. But it's all good. So as we jump to the fourth quarter, which is sneaker future, what direction do you see your collection going in the future?
Even more obscure.
Okay.
Like, now I'm getting into the dunks from '97. Okay, most rare dunk from '90. Like, I'm putting that type of shit in my searches now. Like, with intent. I'm looking for the shit that I know when I walk down the street, they're gonna be like, that's fake. No way that's a real sneaker. I'm into that bag now. A lot of the stuff, like I said, is not obscure. But it's just shit that people don't wear on a day-to-day basis. But now I'm really trying to tap, like I said, those the skis, the Savage Beast. I'm trying to tap into that bag now. Like, what's the shit that I missed out on? What's my reach backs that are even further of a reach back that people will have to ask you questions about these shoes when they see you in them. I'm in that space right now.
Okay. Now, because of you saying that, I can't necessarily ask you is there? Well, I guess I will. Just is there anything new this year that's on your radar that you plan on trying to get?
That's coming out this year.
Okay. Okay.
I gotta wait till y'all do your weekly show for me to find. I ain't gonna lie.
We really appreciate you, always being in there. Shout out to everybody else that, be on Purchase or Pass every Sunday. Our next episode is the Sunday at 10 in the morning.
I might go fresh good. I never was fortunate to get any other pair.
Mm-hmm.
I see the new joint that I'm lying. There is something that I want. It already dropped or it's coming out. They got a roaster, a bake. Just saw the pictures yesterday. They on StockX. I like both colorways. They got like a khaki New York knit colorway, then they got like a purple with green. Yeah, they're kind of fresh. That's something I'm looking at right now. But the Union 2s, I'm probably never gonna get them. I'm not even gonna try to play games with my soul. The pennies, if they come out like they're supposed to, that's something I may cop. But other than that, I'm not looking forward to. My whole thing is just finding shit that I missed. Older stuff.
Now, do you have a holy grail sneaker that you haven't been able to touch that is like the end all be all? Like, it's certain shoes, if I find them, I'm like, man, I might just stop collecting.
Oh, for sure. It's the what's that? The skunk, the first one. Yeah, I need that.
Man, yeah, I love to have those. I remember finding a pair. I found a pair in 2019 before the Dunk explosion, and they were like $450, and I was scoffing at that, like $450.
Yeah.
I wish I could find a pair for $450 now.
If I could find one for $450 with no soul, I might get that motherfucker. Listen,
yeah,
that shoe right there to me is like, that's some of the craziest shit I ever seen in my life. Like the last one they brought back out, it was cool, but not close to that first one. That first one is crazy.
Yeah. What is I know you talked about the Tuskegee and the Savage Beast, two great Air Force Ones, but is there a Holy Grail Air Force One that's on the level of that skunk for you? I have a couple, but
I had the low top Kobe and LeBron one years ago. I wish I still had them. With the face on
the black LeBron ones, yeah.
Was right now. I wish I would have kept them.
Kobe's used to go for dirt, man. I remember seeing Kobe Forces for like $70-$80. Dirt.
Holy Grail one. It might be that Tuskegee. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay. I got one for you. I need the mushroom low from 1998. It's a pair online, but they're like $300. They're not in the bad shape, but they're not in great shape either.
I tell people 95 to 98 era, 95, 98, 99. To me, that's the best era period for sneakers ever. Ever. 5 to like 98, 99. I don't give a fuck what brand it was. It could have been Puma, whatever. That was the best era for me. Like, everybody, so much stuff at that time. Like,
nah, I agree with you. I agree wholeheartedly. Like, that was a great time in sneakers. 99 was a little shaky. It was some stuff that came out. 99.
That when you start getting like Vince Carter shocks and all that, like around that time?
A little after.
Okay.
A little after, but I always say from 99 to like 03, that was a
Duke
part for Nike basketball. It wasn't a whole lot of Nike basketball other than Vince.
Straight trash.
Yeah, like some of those Vince.
Anyone holding it down at that time?
Yeah, I mean, the only other shoe I could think of, the Flight Posit 3 was good. The Flight Posit 2 was okay. The first Flight Posit. And the Flight 2K3. Those are the only shoes other than Vince Carter where I'm like, yeah, those was hard. Maybe the Jordan 17 should go in there too. it was a good player and a decent wearer, but compared to other Jordans, it was more about the suitcase and the CD-ROM.
That suitcase is crazy. Even like the Eddie Jones is crazy. Like, I got to get a pair of the Eddie Jones. Like, the Eddie Jones was crazy.
Yeah, the all of his. I'll say it. Most people won't agree. All of his shoes were good. All four of them.
Fire. All of them were fire.
Yeah, Swift 6, the Quick 6, the Pro Quick,
Is
the
it
Man Pro.
is it safe to say that Eddie has the best player Jordans of anybody signed to Team Jordan besides Michael?
Probably. I can't because Vin Baker only had 2, so probably. Yeah, probably so. I can't think of anybody else because they didn't do shit with Wade. They didn't do shit with Blake Griffin.
That's
I don't
crazy.
think Allen ever had a shoe.
That's crazy.
So,
Crazy.
Okay. I'll just say, other than that Mushroom Air Force One, there is a jewel from '97. It's either navy blue, but I really think it's black, and it's got a Carolina blue jewel swoosh. So I need that. I need the black and orange one for Halloween. I need that. The suede low top Carolina blue Forces from 1998. I need them. You see, I'm kind of specific, but it's some Forces that I've just always wanted to have. Again, of course, the linens, the Securas with the, but that's not really attainable.
I started wearing highs like 01, 02. Mm-hmm. That was how they looked at that how we look at the mids now. Like people have Air One on where you can take the strap. I'm like, yeah, I can take the strap off. Like, so that was like the mid of that era. Wow.
Yeah. Old dudes and dudes in the Air Force Ones were the only people buying highs.
Well, man, Rasheed playing these. What y'all talking about, man?
And that brings me to my next question before, we get to the end where I can ask you about LA and Chicago. What are your feelings on the Sheed Forces?
Fire. I think they should have made. I think Nike should have treated Rasheed high priority, in my opinion. They should have treated him more respect. They should have dropped more colors more frequently. They need to drop more colors down more frequently. Like that high top, that's classic to me. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Them Rasheeds are classic.
Yeah, now I'll say because I've got a decent amount of them. My favorite one is still that one from the Players Pack, like the Kobe and the LeBron with his face on it. They were high ticket, but that was one where I have to have those. But the black ones that he wore with the Trailblazers with the back platen leather, those are probably my second favorite. Now I'll tell you. Go ahead.
Like 2 or 3 pair of the same white with the black swoosh, white, gray swoosh. Like that white is just classic. Like low top Air Force One to me. That's like a Reebok, like a Adidas Superstar to me. That's like a classic sneaker for me. That high top one.
Yeah, you gotta have it. All right. So before I get to these regional questions, I can't wait to ask. You have questions for me?
Yeah, I do. I won't go too political, so I'll save some of this shit for the private conversations. But what do you think about the culture in totality? Like, what do you think about that word being placed on it? Like, how do you view it? Like, when you hear sneaker culture, what are the thoughts that come to your head immediately?
Hype beasts. I've made posts, I've said on the show, I really, really try to make an effort to not be an asshole gatekeeper with sneakers, because sneakers is something I love. I've been collecting them for a very long time. it's good in some ways, information wise, for sneakers to be mainstream, but I'm not always glad that sneakers are mainstream because I was weird. Why the fuck do you have all these shoes? A female come to the place. I mean, when my wife came to my house the first time, she was like, why the fuck do you have all this shit? You know what I mean? But in 2010, it was a thing, but it wasn't a thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I applaud everybody. Everybody has different reasons they're in the game. Everybody collects different stuff, and I enjoy it. That's why I like doing the show. But at certain times, I don't like people just lumping me in with everybody else. Like, oh, you're a sneakerhead. Like, you know, I feel like what you and I and all these people in the comments do is different than that. You know, I'm not.
I don't consider myself part of the culture or the community. I'm not. I'm just a dude who like to get fresh. Like that's how I equate it. Like I just like to wear sneakers. Like I don't look at it like a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm doing sneakers now. Like no, like how people brush their teeth. I was buying sneakers. This is what I was born into doing this shit. Like so, like I said, it's not a bad thing. I just like to hear other people's opinion and like thought process of how they equate like the culture. Like what is the culture?
Yeah, because it's like you said, you just brushing your teeth, you buying kicks. Like it's hard not to be protective of something you've been into for over 20 years. Where it's like, I can say, oh, well, you wasn't outside or you wasn't there. You know what I mean? I don't always feel the need because you'll tell me by things you say about sneakers that you weren't outside. I don't need to say it, but I kind of miss some of the anonymity of the shoes themselves because it's like you just go to the store. It's like, oh shit, they came out with this new Air Rift. You know what I'm saying? Like I seen this. So now you can know we know what's coming out on holiday already. It's only March, so I miss the anonymity of the sneakers.
Like I got a nephew. Like I haven't been home in years, right? Like 3-4 years. So I had like my Travis. So I had some shit. He like, oh, you don't. He being funny, but the fact that he had the audacity to say it, like, oh, you don't know about no drip. I'm like, what, boy?
But I almost called him a nigga.
Man, at the job, even though he put me on, he was giving me props. I still kind of took it as a slight, like, you know what you got on? I'm like, who the fuck are you? Like, yeah, I know what I got on, bro. Like, you like 12 years old. Like, what you talking about? But it's like a weird thing, like you said, being protective of just let anybody. I give you a story. I'm at round 2, right? This is what I mean when I say culture. I'm at round 2. I'm looking at some shit. It's this dude. He come in. This is a true story. He comes in, older dude. I can tell he got some money. I'm looking like, okay, he got some paper. He's with a younger girl in her early 20s. He's asking her like, okay, what's this and all that. And then there's some kids looking at some shit. He asked the kids like, so what's hot? Like what's they start picking up shit. He bought everything they picked up. Mm. And I'm like, that's a grown man. I shouldn't feel no kind of way about this shit. Like, but I'm like, damn, bro. What if all the shit they told you was trash? You just bought it because okay, this is cool. This is cool. Give me that. And I'm like, okay. So I always had these questions. I don't like to ask them in like certain settings because I know people take things, in a certain way. But you are a sneaker aficionado, so I felt it was appropriate to ask you your opinion on the culture for sure.
I mean, I appreciate it. I mean, I make posts every now and then because again, I really, since I hit 40, I've really tried to curb my asshole. I've really tried to be a nicer person, but. I'm just like, say you 41 and you just decide to jump in the shoe game. Like, how does that happen? Like, what the fuck was you doing the rest of this time? Was you wearing Stacey Adams?
I'm from the era where my dad would call us tennis shoe pimps because all we had was tennis shoes. He looked at it like a bad thing. Like, I remember girls would be like you said, like, bro, why you wearing sneakers? You don't got no dress shoes. You don't have no boots. Like, so now that it's reversed, so. I don't know. It's just some shit I be thinking about sometimes when I'm by myself chilling my culture.
All right, now
let's get to the shit because I know you want to get to it.
Yeah. All right, so being from the Los Angeles area, right? In your hood, where was the place to go and get the shoes?
Oh man. So let's get to it. So I don't know if you ever heard of the infamous Lakewood Mall. Lakewood Mall is where I shouldn't be putting hood. Anyway, Lakewood Mall is where it's the infamous story of Death Row Records chains getting snatched.
Ah,
The bad boy had the bounty on Death Row chains. This happened in front of that World Foot Locker I talked about where I got my pennies from. World Foot Locker was the spot where I would pretty much get a lot of my shit. It was like the East Side Mall. So the West Side, you had like Fox Hills Mall. That's like the mall for like the West Side niggas. Compton, Wide, South Central. It would be Lakewood Mall, but Lakewood Mall is in a suburb, like a suburb, the city of Lakewood. But you can get there from Compton in like 10 minutes. You know what I'm saying? So that's where we will go. Now, when I started to get into more like obscure, like exclusive shit, that same West Side Mall had a place called Men's Land. Men's Land was a store that sold Italian cut suits. So you liable to see Sedale 3 in that motherfucker. Like Lakers would be in there, but they also had sections where they'll have like an Air Max that you never seen before. Okay. They'll have Nike and Dr. Romelli bomber jackets and shit. They will have random shit that you'd be like, wait a minute. This colorway, this Air Force One with the orange check never came out here. Oh, this is some New York shit. So this is, they have 2-3 pairs. Like, so this is what that store probably was the store that curbed my like thirst for like, oh, I gotta have this shit nobody else got. We're going to Men's Land. Now they're gonna tax you. They're gonna put 40 on top of it, but it was worth it for sure.
okay.
For sure.
Now, with being a sneakerhead in Los Angeles in the 90s, were you ever able to not wear a shoe because of a color?
Yeah, this was getting smoked. Yes.
Okay.
This knew that's what's happening right now. But like when we talk about this shit, I don't like to say it like murder or violence, but niggas been getting smoked for starter jackets. Young boys been getting beat the fuck up for their Jordans. We couldn't wear BKs, British Knights. We couldn't wear this with the BK on the shoe. You couldn't wear certain color starter jackets. LA is notorious for like baseball hats. Baseball hats represent gangs where I'm from.
I've heard that. Okay.
Wear Seattle Mariners, that's rolling 60s. You wear a Philadelphia Pirates of Philly, that's a Pyru set. You can't wear certain shit. So little kid, 3rd, 4th grade, getting the shit beat out of them because of this. I've seen kids get snatched up out their starter jackets. I've seen this.
Wow.
I've seen get the Jordans and the Larry Johnson, the React with the light blue and get beat out of their Larry Johnsons. I've seen this in real life. Wow. For sure. This is what started like the early 90s. I only can speak for my era. This is what started like kids walking home in packs. You have kids walking home together instead of 1 or 2 kids walking home. They will walk. We're gonna walk you home, and then I live the closest, so I can walk back by myself. We're gonna make sure you get home. And so that started a lot of that. But kids been getting killed and shit for clothes in the 90s for sure. For sure.
Because I mean that was something like, you know, it happened. It happened where I'm from too, but you know, you always hear about LA and you hear about, you know, you can't wear red, you can't wear blue. So that leads to my next question is the Lakers had a gang too?
Grape Street, purple, for sure. I lived in that neighborhood, 150 women. That's a fact. Yes. Viking jerseys, Dante Culpepper jerseys are notorious in that area. Laker hats, all that shit. Yeah, every hat that got a color is related to a gang in LA. That's a fact. Or a symbol. That's a fact. You wear Houston Astros, that's like a Hoover hat. You can't wear none of this stuff. So either you have no hats, or you got a lot of hats from the area that you live in, for sure.
Okay. Now I've also heard that with merchandise, there's certain parts of LA where you can't find Lakers stuff. Certain parts of LA where you only see Clippers stuff. Is that true?
I don't know about that. Lakers rule the world. I don't know what these people are talking about. You can go in Lakers shit on Earth.
Okay, so the hood fucks with the Lakers. Then it's not just the Clippers like how they make it now. I'm just okay.
Don't listen. It's all listen. It's cap. Don't nobody fuck with the Clippers. That's cap.
Okay.
It's Clippers had a run when they had the Lob. What's the name? Lob City. They had like 2 years. Listen, I was going to Clipper games with Baron Davis, Rasul Butler, the Andre Miller.
Oh, Butler.
Come on, I was going. Andre Miller, one of my favorite players. He went to my high school. I remember these eras.
Oh,
they 6,000 people at these games. Nobody's fucking with the Clippers. Nobody.
Okay. So you've been to Staples many times. So they really make it like a Clippers. When it's a Clippers game, like it's a whole different place. Like.
Listen, man. Don't let these people captain you, Shorty. Listen, man.
Okay, I'm asking you. That's why I know you know.
I'm gonna tell you what it is. The Clipper game is for people who can't afford to go to Laker games.
Gotcha.
But the Clipper game is equal, has the same amount of equity as a Laker game as far as like a social thing. So it's celebrities at Clipper games for sure. It's a social thing that the Clippers have become like a cheaper social event.
Okay.
You know, you wouldn't see rappers at a Clipper game 10 years, 15 years ago. They're not going to no Clipper games. They're going to Laker games for sure. You would see a famous person at a UCLA game before you see him at a Clipper game. So,
okay. Were you surprised that the Lakers moved from the Forum to Staples?
Yes. I think that's the worst they ever did. They should have kept it in the wood. They should have kept it in Inglewood. That's the worst thing they ever did. It's something about being from LA, knowing where that Forum is, knowing what area that's in. It's a different feeling. Like just like the Coliseum. Like these are our neighborhoods. This shit going down in these neighborhoods. The Staples Center just made it more of a, you got like LA Live and you got the LA Convention Center. It's still dirty and it's downtown around there, but it's not the same. Like the Forum is across the street from the Inglewood Cemetery. Like this is LA hood shit that's happened. So it made it more like it felt like it was the city. It felt like the Inglewood Lakers. I'm gonna be honest. That's what it felt, Inglewood Lakers.
So before we transition to Chicago, my last question: what's the worst part of LA you could be in? Where it's like, nigga, don't go there during the day.
See, LA's a tricky place. And this is going to transition into Chicago perfectly. LA's an illusion. This is why so many people get robbed and killed here. This shit's been happening since the 80s. Because a lot of LA was, when you look at LA, you see palm trees, even in the hood, manicure lawns, homes, a lot of houses. That shit is the hood though. Don't get it twisted. Like, so it's dangerous pretty much everywhere because you can never tell where you are.
Okay.
Like, these areas are like what you can call gentrified, but it's niggas there. It's going down in these areas. Like, I can take you places where murders happen often and it's people with pools in their backyard. I promise you. And you'd be like, no way, somebody got killed. Yeah, it's a pool back there. And the house is $800,000 right now. But motherfuckers getting killed on these blocks. LA is probably the only place like that I know of in America that you don't know where you are. It's hard to tell.
Okay.
But we can get into that. Oh, you know exactly where you are here.
Well, all right. For Chicago, I always hear about the West Side and the South Side. Don't fuck around. I've, been there a few times, but what's worse between the West and the South?
It depends on what you consider worse. So when I first moved here, I was staying at Hyde Park. That's where I'm at now. Obama lived around the corner. Farrakhan lived around the corner from him.
Yeah, I think Jordan lived there at some point.
It's like y'all have like unincorporated cities. They're not cities, but they're areas. That's what Hyde Park is. But it's on the south side. So you could walk from Obama House to a gas station where it's going down there. That's how close in proximity this shit is. The west side is more, All right, when I first came here, I was hanging out west. This is, you know what I'm saying? This is where I was acclimated to West Side. A lot of dope, a lot of drug addicts, a lot of drugs, a lot of prostitution, a lot of money, though. West Side is known historically for getting money. A lot of violence, too, but a lot of drug shit going on. The South Side, this is a whole nother demon over here. Because you got a lot of projects.
Okay.
And a lot of tore down, so the people moved into these houses. So now you got block gangs. Every block is, you know what I'm saying? To me, the South Side is the South Side is the most dangerous because you got an area where I just moved from, which is the East Side, which you probably never heard of. The East Side is spooky out here. This is where rappers like G Herbo and them, they're from the East Side.
Okay.
All this shit is late though. So it's like you gotta understand when I moved here, I'm like, to live this close to the water, you gotta be a millionaire. They got projects by the lake. Golf by the lake. Shit flabbergasts me still to this day, like just the way the geographically is set up. So the South Side to me is the worst. This shit is spooky, yo. It's spooky. Like the West Side, you know where you are, so you can feel it. Like, okay, I'm in the hood. The South Side, it's a little. You got parts where it's kind of nice. Shit is going down though. Like Starbucks on the corner, but it's going down over here. So the South Side to me is the worst by far to me.
Gotcha.
Stay downtown, Shorty. Don't come around here. Don't come around these parts, man. Just stay.
Hey man, I got family from Gary and everything, man. I mean, I know it can be ill.
Yeah.
But nah, I feel it. I mean, I would even be, because I mean, it's not on the level of LA or Chicago, but like Cleveland is ill like that, where I mean, you know, shit going down all the time. I hear shit going on at home. I'm like, fuck, I used to be there all the time. Like, so I know you hear shit about at home. You be like, you know,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah,
It's going down. And time. I don't want to say time to change it because the murder rate in the '90s was even more crazy. It's just like now, I guess we got access to see what's going on, and we're adults living in it. When I was a kid, some of this shit me and my friends talk about, like, we laugh now, like we survived this. Why were we doing this stupid shit? Like, but now, I'm moving cautious through these areas.
yeah, because we old now. It's like, you know, I think about places I've been. I'm like, you know, just never do that now. But be at 20 or 21, it's like, fuck it, we doing it. You know what I'm saying? So,
I work. I can't play. I got to work. I'm not playing in these neighborhoods like that no more.
Yeah, man. Well, look, man, it's been a pleasure chatting it up.
Sure.
First of it, you know what I mean? Thank you so much for being a part of this, man. Talking to me, answered all my questions. You know, I appreciate all that, man.
This is my. So now you got me turned up. I want to do lives more. Now I'm ready for war. So
hey, we can always do some impromptu shit too, man. I'm gonna hit you. Hey, man, you know what I mean? So definitely do that, man. But hey, appreciate everybody in the comments. You know, shout out to, you know, everybody there. Shout out to you, Black Tom Hagen. I appreciate you, sir. Yeah.
Kiki, I'm just too for sure.
Yeah, for sure. But all right, man, I'm gonna go ahead and run, man. I'm gonna holler at you soon, man. All right, man. Peace.
Out.